Hello folks and welcome to Paddock Partial Post-Race Edition for the 2018 Austrian Grand Prix, and a Grand Prix which many might have expected Lewis Hamilton to win as he led away from pole position. But with early retirements, early pit stops occurred and Mercedes did not take advantage of them. Hamilton falling back through the order, questioning the strategic good with the pronunciation, choices of his team. Ultimately, they would prove to be flawed as Lewis tried to fight his way back through the field. Could not do it. Ultimately, didn't matter. Both he and teammate Valtteri Bottas left as retirements from the race. Lewis Hamilton's beautiful 33 race streak of Grand Prix finishes at an end. Lewis Hamilton left at the side of the track, leaving Max Verstappen to come through for a beautiful victory on home soil for Red Bull Racing here in Austria. P2, P3, Kimi Räikkönen and Sebastian Vettel, meaning no Mercedes finish, no Mercedes on the podium. It is a big shift and schmozzle in the World Championship standings. So there's your winner, Max Verstappen, P1 at home for Red Bull Racing. There's a Max Verstappen village here. They'd be very happy, as Sebastian Vettel asked on the podium. Do you pay tax there, Max? Probably not. It's not a real village. Two Ferraris, second and third. That's your top three. Here they are. This is not a track that normally suits Red Bull, no matter how much the team wants it to. What made the difference this weekend?
It's a bit unexpected, to be honest. I think Friday was very poor, actually, in the long runs. And qualifying was also not fantastic, but we seem to have a great car today. I think straight away, the Mercedes cars were not really pulling away, and even when Lewis pitted for new tyres, he was also not catching up. So, I think we managed it well. It was not easy because I think our tyre wear compared to Ferrari was a little bit higher, and of course, when you pit so early, it's always going to be hard at the end. And we just managed around the issue we had, and we made it to the end.
Big question that everyone around the world will have now is that up until this point, everyone saw the championship as being Sebastian and Lewis and maybe Daniel's in there as well. Is Max in there as well now?
I think I'm quite close again with points with third, fourth and fifth. So that's good. I had a bit of catch up to do, but we are back in the game.
And it's not even halfway through the year yet.
Yeah, so I think the tracks we've had so far, they were not our best tracks, except for Monaco, of course. But we have a few good ones coming up.
Should the others be worried?
I hope they are, but we'll see. I mean, we still need, in general, more horsepower to be able to really fight them every single race. We keep working hard, also from the team side, to improve the car every single race, and we'll see.
Wow, it's got to feel pretty good, hasn't it?
Yes and no. Obviously we want to win, and I think we had a speed today, but we kind of ran out of the time a bit in the end, and well, we tried.
You're always a bit down on yourself, man. Come on, that's a really good result today, no?
No, it is for the team, but I had plenty of third and second places, so it's we're here to try to win, and especially days when you have a good speed in the end. I think we struggled a bit on the beginning of the stints, but it wasn't bad. But
what makes the difference?
When it's there,
I know, but what's going to make the difference? Because we all know that you've got wins inside you. We all know you've got that talent, that speed, that raw potential to pull it out.
Not today.
No, not today. but we know you have it. So what has to come together though for Kimi to get back on the top step of the podium?
Little things here and there, and we tried hard today, but it wasn't to happen today. So we keep trying, and pretty sure it comes. But this is how it is.
It's a podium here in Austria. You've got the Red Bull on the go, so you're at least on the local trends. How do you feel?
Flying. No, I mean,
old habits die hard, right?
To be honest, happy and not happy. I think happy with the fact that we recovered well and we get the podium. Obviously, it's good to score points, but I think we should have scored more points. Obviously, with the different starting position.
Okay, can we go back to that? Because Carlos said yesterday he didn't think you should have been penalised. You both got through to Q3. Honestly, what's the issue? Yeah, you screwed up, okay, and you would put your hand to that.
I don't think I did. I wasn't told. I tried to look out for him. I mean, I don't want to drag on about it.
No, I know, but it's a thing, because without it, you might have won the race.
Now the rule book is so freaking big. I think it's a result of all the drivers, all of us. I think we've all been there more or less, whinging, complaining. Oh, he's done this, he's done that. I mean, in the end, you should let us sort it out on track. That's my belief. So I think, you heard what Carlos said. I think I appreciate the fact that he said, look, it was not an issue. Yeah, needless to say that it could have been different, but would, could, should, doesn't matter now. I think we did the best from there.
And you did a great drive today, both Mercedes out. It just goes to show any weekend, anything can happen, and this championship's fully on, right?
Yeah, I think that's pretty good. I think it was a great race. Obviously, great for Max to win here. So many local, well, not local, Dutch fans.
Dutch, yeah.
But it's great to see. I think great for Formula One. Great to be on the podium and witness that. So let's see if Germany can bounce back in a couple of weeks. So as I said, happy and a bit mixed today. So I think it's always nice to be on the podium, but it's also a race that I really like, and I would like to win it.
Now, it's been a difficult start to the season. I say start to the season, it's almost half a season for Romain Grosjean. Had potential all the way through the year, never quite maximised it. All the time the luck going against him, but here in Austria it all came good. Not just an all-right result, not just a good result for Romain Grosjean, P4, narrowly off the podium, making amends for all of the issues earlier in the season. Huge result for Romain, huge result for Haas, not before time, P4, P5, the best result in the team's history. And when we look back to, let's be honest, let's look back to Melbourne, and everything that the team held in their hands and ultimately let slip, they grasped it, they took it back. This is where Haas should be punching, this is where they should be finishing. Romain Grosjean leading that charge.
I'm so happy for my boys, for myself as well, after all the criticism I have had, after all the punch I've took, and I stood up on my feet and I came back, and here this weekend we've had it perfect. The car was fast and we've done a great, and we got lucky in the race. I feel for Lewis, for Daniel and for Valtteri, because they retired, but it was just luck for us eventually after all this tough luck we've had. I let the boys down a few times, but here today, 4th and 5th, best ever result for the team on our 50th Grand Prix. It's incredible. I think we can be all super proud of what we've done. It's great. And you know what? Mainly, I knew Sasha and Simon were watching the race, and I'm so happy they're proud.
Oh man, okay, that's really lovely. That's really lovely. In case people at home don't know, that's your kids.
Yes,
that's super lovely.
Camille is too small. She's not watching.
No, compétition. Oh mate, no, beautiful. I mean, that's lovely. And you've been with this team from the outset, as you say, in the 50th race, just as in the first race. You got to be there to take advantage of those situations. You got to be there to make the most of it. And you're just off a podium. I remember the radio call in Australia, and you said, "This is like a win, guys. This is like a win." Does it feel like that today?
It feels great. It feels amazing because 4th and 5th, it's our best ever result, position-wise, 4th. Yeah. And as a team, it's a lot of points. Obviously, points we've lost in Melbourne, so it was really hard. But 50 Grand Prix later, I'm still proud of the team, still proud of being part of that project, and we're getting stronger and stronger. Obviously, qualifying yesterday, getting one of the Red Bull behind. In race pace, we need to improve a little bit still, but it's been a great weekend, and I'm very happy for all of us.
And as we get into the part of the season where people are talking about drivers' contracts for next year and where are they going and blah blah blah, and after the start to the season that you'd had, maybe people would have arrived here and said, "Hey, Romain Grosjean, he's toast. Look at him. Look what he's doing. He's doing nothing." Hey, today you did more than something.
We still look young and beautiful, don't I?
I wouldn't go that far.
So I still have some time in Formula One, and what's good with the teams is that they never forgot that we had 2.5 seasons together. Obviously that first half didn't go well, but 2 seasons before it went very, very well. So they were behind me. They were always, Gunther was always behind saying, "Guys, don't forget what he's done for us." So I messed up a few times, but it happens in your career, and here we are going back on a high, I hope, and looking forward to Silverstone because we should be fast.
Now, we've heard from Romain Grosjean and the phenomenal performance to finish P4, but his teammates, Kevin Magnussen, finished P5, just ahead of Force India's Esteban Ocon in P6. Sometimes in the pen we'll get drivers together from the same team talking together. This time we managed to get drivers from different teams talking together at the same time. So here's Kev, here's Esteban, P5, P6. Way.
Yeah, I mean, we just spoke quickly, and I think we had kind of the same issue with the tires, that they were blistering like crazy, and Esteban stopped very early, and I stopped I didn't stop on the virtual safety car, so I had a bit fresher tires, and even so my tires were blistering. So I saw he was struggling a lot with those extra laps, and even so I didn't have the pace to just cruise by. So yeah, it was a good battle.
It was a good battle today. Fun?
Yeah, I mean, those guys were quick today, so we'll get them another time. But no, I was quite happy for the team. You know, the result today, 6/7, good understanding as well with Checo towards the end on a different strategy. Yeah, we couldn't get him at the end, but you know, we'll keep pushing on the next races.
It's got to feel good for you guys, because this was a weekend that Haas looked probably the strongest they've been, I'm going to say, since Melbourne. I hope that doesn't sound too harsh, but I think since Melbourne you guys look the strongest. So for you guys to finish just narrowly behind them, a huge result for Force India this weekend.
Yeah, definitely, and you know, the gap in the midfield championship in the constructor is close, so you know, the fight is on, and it will last all the season.
And also, again, on that same point for Haas, a 4th and a 5th, it's showing what could have been all season long, a great result for the team.
Yeah, I mean, we lost a massive result in Australia that could have been the same as today. So I feel like it's justice from then, and you know, we're very happy about this result.
Now, Force India and Sergio Perez not exactly over the moon with their qualifying performance on the Saturday, but for the race itself, I'm sure that Bob Fernley here. Hello, Bob. I was going to say, are you happy with the performance of the boys today?
Very pleased. Yeah, it was a great effort, good team effort that.
Yeah, mega. To come home just behind the Haas, which we've known have been very, very uber competitive all year. I think a great result today.
Yes, no complaints at all, and I think we might have had a chance of just getting Magnussen at the end, but it was just messed up a little bit with Stroll coming out of the pits.
And Checo, we're literally, this is our link for Sergio, because we've already done our link for Esteban, coming in just behind Kev. But Sergio, not the greatest qualifying performance ever, but pulled it back in the race and really made amends.
Oh no, it was a super race from him. Well, both of them actually. They both managed everything really well. And today it was very much about managing the tyres and making sure you had the performance at the end.
Awesome. Here's Sergio.
Yeah, it feels good. It's a massive result for the team. We've outscored Reynolds, so yeah, definitely a good day.
Where did it come from? Where was it born, this resilience today?
I think the management with the tire was very good. The team did a really good job. We were kind of a bit concerned, you know, because we didn't box on the virtual, and I think all in all it's been a fantastic day, and yeah, looking forward. We are expecting some upgrades for Silverstone, our home race, so yeah, looking forward to it.
Yeah, those upgrades were supposed to come this weekend. They're going to come hopefully for the team's home race at Silverstone. But after a horrible day like yesterday, where it wasn't looking great, to come into a day like today, to make the most of it, to maximise everything, get the most that both of you guys can. What does that say about the team, about your resilience, about what everybody does overnight from a day like Saturday into Sunday to pull the most out of it?
Oh, definitely. We just never give up, and we have a bad day, and the next day is always a new chance, and today we proved, you know, once again, we didn't give up, and we tried our best to just move forwards, and yeah, it worked really, really well.
And how about Sauber? Well, when you look at the qualifying performance of Charles Leclerc, you think he smashed it so hard that even with a 5-place grid penalty, he's still qualified ahead of Marcus Ericsson. Now, in the race itself, Charles ultimately pushing way too hard in the early laps. In fact, first lap ran wide, could have ruined his entire race. Ultimately didn't. Came through, pushed through, fought hard, battled his way back up through the field. Marcus, though, came back through in the final laps. Charles let him through to have a little pop at Fernando. Didn't quite work out. And to his credit, Marcus allowed Charles back through at the end to retake his position. It's a 9th, it's a 10th, it's a huge result for the team that still are not the expected point scorers that perhaps at almost mid-season in Formula One we now need to start accepting Sauber F1 team to be.
No, I'm extremely happy. Apart from the error, which is a big one, and which I need to accept and try to work on that for it to not happen. I knew I had to take some risk at the beginning, because starting from P18 we knew that points would be extremely difficult, so I had to go for it, and I just lost it. Maybe I should have gone a little bit more tranquilo. I don't know how to say it in English.
Tranquil.
Yeah, exactly.
It's the same thing. It's most like most Italian words. Take the O off the end and it's English. It's fine.
Exactly. But yeah, overall again a P9, and I'm very happy about today. And yeah, I hope it continues. But I have also to thank Marcus, to be honest, for his fair play today. I let him pass in some laps before the end for him to try and attack Fernando. I was actually quite worried on the radio that he will not actually be fair to me and swap back at the end, but he did. So well done to him also.
I think we could have been P8. I was in the DRS of Alonso on the last 2 laps, and I was attacking him, so it's looking really good. And I think my race, was brilliant from start to finish. It was really strong pace, and our alternative strategy was really working. So it felt really, really good. And then, of course, it's a bit frustrating to have to lift off on the last lap, but that's how it is. Still, it's great for the team to get both cars in the points. It's a great team effort, especially after the difficult day yesterday. And once again, great pit stops from the guys. Really, really fast there. So it's amazing team effort and good strategy. So I think we should be really proud of that, and it's a great reward to get both cars in the points.
Race weekend of 2 halves for McLaren. Stoffel Van Dorn ultimately finishing outside of the points, but the only one that could actually spare the time to talk to us. Fernando Alonso, way too quick today, started in the pits, finished P8, but yeah, rushed through, didn't get a word with him. Sorry about that, folks. So here's Stoffel.
Our race was kind of over after the first 3 corners. We had contact in turn 3. I think nothing much we could have done. 3 cars wide, everything closes up on the apex and the exit, and there was nowhere really to go. So after that, it was just very frustrating first part with all the blue flags letting the cars through. So we were never really in the race anymore, let's say. On the positive, I think the second part of the race was really good. We had very competitive pace. Actually, we overtook a few cars in the end. But yeah, unfortunately not rewarded with points, which I think was definitely possible today regarding all the retirements.
Thanks, Stoffel. Now, a Williams finishing outside of the points. No great surprise. Stroll P13, Sorokin P14.
Yeah, I thought we could do better today. Looking at where we were in quali, I thought, I hoped we could potentially fight with some of the other teams, but unfortunately today was kind of the same story, different day. We just really struggled with pace. Had a decent start, gained some positions, but then it was just, obviously we were just really slow all the way to the end and struggling with tires, and just pace in general was really, really poor. So that was unfortunate.
Still don't really understand why being an option, why we had to pit so early, and then why we had to push so much straight after the pit stop, because basically still a quarter distance left. I already ran off the tires. There was still a lot to do, obviously. Really, really disappointed race, even from straight away from the start. Every time I was on the inside, and every time it was, something happening, someone touching each other, and then they were almost spinning off, and then I was just stuck in them. So couldn't really gain anything. I'm afraid I even lost a bit. It was disappointing yesterday, but today was another step. So.
With upgrades to both teams, and after promising qualifying sessions, both Toro Rosso and Renault were hopeful of points, yet neither brought home the results that they'd hoped for on Sunday afternoon.
Yeah, I think one of the most difficult races I ever had, because I think Stoffel and I had contact in turn 3 in the first lap, and it took all the flow out on the rear right. So yeah, it was just sliding everywhere from lap 1, and I tried to give everything inside the car. I think we ran in the points at some points, gave everything, but just super difficult to drive the car, and quite a shame to finish that close from the points.
Car got better and better. First quarter, definitely some of the cars around us seemed better at the start of the race with tyres, but I just got stronger and stronger on those super softs. I had them pitted, and the pace was really good. made a few changes to the aero bounce compared to qualifying. I think that was maybe some of my downfall in qualifying. Just didn't have the confidence with the car on entries, and today it felt, I would say, good, but starting from the back. And I mean, actually, looking now, I was battling with Ericsson early on, and he's just finished the
P9?
P9 and P10. So yeah, I mean, I think points were on the cards if everything went well. And yeah, the pace towards the end of the stint looked really promising, so that's a positive step.
So what did you win?
Sorry?
What did you win today? What was the issue?
I don't know. So initially I asked if there was a puncture because I felt something feeling strange. They told me it looks fine, and then when I got to the last corner, it definitely wasn't fine. And then I felt something strange with the drivetrain as well. So I don't want to speculate, but probably something to do with the race suspension somewhere.
Thanks, mate. Now this is not the afternoon that it should have been. Why did it all go wrong?
The moment we changed tires, I mean, we don't understand why the balance of our car creates so much blistering on the tires. It just makes driving pretty much impossible. I couldn't see on the straights, the tires were vibrating massively. So we lost a big chance today of scoring big points, no? But it's something that we need to understand as a team. Yes, it will make us stronger in the future, no? Because days like these are really unfortunate that all of a sudden we lose 2 seconds a lap just because of a blister.
I mean, you were looking strong in qualifiers, looking strong all weekend, and then suddenly you've got both Haas in the points, both Force Indias in the points, and you guys are absolutely nowhere. It's got to be a big wake-up call.
It is a big wake-up call, yeah, especially on tire understanding. I think without the blisters, our pace would have been the same as the weekend, but the track temp going up and our rear suffering that much, I mean, it was undrivable. It was just simply undrivable, and we need to understand why.
Hey, dude. Classified as the first retirement today. What was it?
I think it was pretty clear, no?
Well, yeah, it sort of went bang, didn't it?
Kind of went up in smoke.
It's rare, but that's rare these days.
Yeah, it is rare. I don't know, but it did happen. I felt quite, sudden loss of power, and then so soon after was the smoke. Yeah, obviously not a great afternoon for Renault. Carlos was also struggling, not managing to keep the pace up. I think we were struggling also with the hotter temperatures today and keeping those tires under control. Blistering obviously was subject for a lot of cars. So tough afternoon. We need to regroup, reschedule, and luckily we go again in a few days.
It wasn't your tyres that went bang though, it was your motor, and I know you guys were supposed to have an upgrade this weekend. It didn't work out quite like you expected it to. Is there potentially an element of pressure too high on Renault right now to bring those advances, to bring something that's going to give you the advantage, and it's playing out on retirements, or not actually achieving the top 10s that you guys should be achieving as a matter of course?
I don't think so. I think it's just the normal rate of development. We're not really pushing things through or rushing things. The MGUK thing was in the pipeline for a long time, and it's been signed off, and it was supposed to be safe. I'm not sure it's related to the engine problem today. We have to wait and see once we get the car back. No, I think we're obviously trying to develop as hard as we can, but not at the cost obviously of reliability.
And so this should have been a race that Mercedes, so most of the pundits would have said, should have annihilated. They had an engine upgrade last time out. They had a aero upgrade this time out. Car looked phenomenal. The car looked, let's be honest, nigh on unbeatable. Valtteri Bottas with the pole looking for the win. Retirement. Lewis Hamilton, massive strategic flaw, ultimately left on the back foot trying to fight his way through. Couldn't happen. He retired too. I can't remember the last time we had a double Mercedes retirement, but it hands back the championship lead to Sebastian Vettel. It puts both drivers on the back foot. Let's hear from both of them. Let's hear from Bottas. Let's hear from Hamilton on what should have been a glorious weekend and ultimately left them with naught.
I don't know. At the moment, feels like a bit of a joke. The luck I'm having this year, but yeah, I mean, what can I say? Nothing I could have done for that, and it's the first kind of hydraulic failure this year for us, and yeah, of course we need to investigate not to have it again, but yeah, pretty unlucky.
Took us through the first lap. Wasn't the best of start, but by the end of the first lap you were back there punching.
Yeah, in the start I had quite a bit of wheel spin, so it was not ideal. There was less grip than
we expected. And then going into turn 3, could recover a couple of places, which was good. And we seemed to have a strong car until I was still in the race, so everything was going pretty okay.
Let's talk first of all about the decision not to bring you in at the safety car when it first came out.
I don't really know what to say. It's I've not had time to look at it. I've just come straight from the garage, so I don't really understand. You have a lot of strategists, so many things go on, how we can make those kind of errors. But I know that James, put his hand up and said it was his call, and we'll try to analyse. Happy birthday, man.
Thanks.
We'll try and analyse and figure out how we can improve moving forwards. But we lost a lot of points this year just through either bad calls or reliability.
And reliability is ultimately what cost you and Valtteri today. A weekend at which you had the car upgrade that looked so dominant. Last weekend, the engine upgrade that looked so good. How does it feel to have it all suddenly unravel in front of you at a point at which it was looking so positive?
In the moment, it's when you're on the track, it's not easy. Right now, I'm feeling. I just lost the lead of the championship again, so just have to regroup, recenter my focus and our focus as a team, and hope that we can make amends in the next race.
So that is your lot from Paddock Pass, and the Pied Piper of Hamelin is your new championship leader. It's like every weekend. The ups and the downs and the ebbs and the flows of this World Championship are making this one of the most interesting, intriguing World Championships that I can recall. Last weekend it was Sebastian Vettel. No, it wasn't. It was. See, I can't even keep on top of it. It was Lewis Hamilton that took the lead back from Sebastian Vettel. This weekend it's Vettel that takes the lead back from Hamilton. Where will we be at next? Next weekend it is at Silverstone. We're all exhausted. As you heard earlier on, it's like it's 3 weekends in a row before even the mid-season breaks hit, and everyone's getting bang, in the head. Everyone's knackered. How's it affecting the teams? How is it affecting the drivers? Who will make the first mistake? Who will be the first to blink? Who knows? One thing I can tell you is that there is no guaranteed favourite in this season. Let's not walk into Ted and Natalie. We came close. It's going to be a fascinating one. It's going to be an interesting one. I can't wait to see what happens next. We return home. It is our home race for us that are based in the UK. A lot of people have said, how do you do that home Grand Prix? Do you deal with it like every other race? No, I can't. Because I'll forget my pass and I'll leave it downstairs in my kitchen and I'll get to the track, and it's a really, really weird one. Doing your home Grand Prix from home is a very, very strange race. Can Lewis Hamilton pull the championship lead back, or will he be in that place of being like, it's the home race and it's all a bit messy? Can Seb eke out that gap? Can Daniel or Max get in that fight? What about Kimi, the silent one? What about Valtteri, who, let's be honest, people, with the misfortune that he's had this year, should arguably be not just in the hunt, but possibly leading this World Championship? What happens next? Where do we go from here? That's why this season for me is absolutely fascinating. It could go any one way of 6 ways, and I can't wait to see which way the pendulum swings next. Silverstone it is. We're home tonight. We'll see you in a couple of days. For now, from here in Austria, see you later.